Hola amigos, here's Senator Howard ready to tell you a story in English. So a lot of you know that I didn't grow up in New Jersey. I grew up outside of the United States. When I was 3 years old, my parents left the Chicago area and they flew me down into Latin America. And I lived in a few places down here, but one of the places that I lived in was Ecuador. I lived south of the capital city. The capital city is Quito. And I lived south in this city, the third biggest city in Ecuador, called Ambato. It's in the mountains, and towards the north of the city there's a river. So let me find this river. Can you see that little blue line here? And north of the river was a little park, and my house was 1 block from this park. The bottom part of the park had like a basketball court, soccer court, some playground things up here, and then like a garden up here. And my house was right around the corner right here. Let me drop this little yellow person right onto the street so we can see a street view of what it looks like now. I remember these palm trees were a lot smaller. It's been like 30 years since I lived here. And I learned how to ride a bike right in this driveway. This is where I lived. It looks like right now they use this house as like a dental office, but when I lived there, it wasn't a dental office, and I lived on the first floor. The park was just down the road here, and so I would go, it's on the other side of this bus right now. I would go and play with my friends in this park, but on the way to the park, in the house between my house and the park was not this. Right now it's a big building, but it used to be like a dirt floor with like a shack or like a hut right here, and there was a lady that would sit in front there all the time. I remember like every time I would leave my house, she'd be sitting by she had made like a cement block table, and on top of the cement blocks she put a fire, like a little, kind of like a grill. She would put some wood, burn the wood, and then on top of that wooden fire she had this like metal circle that had like pokey sticks coming out of it, maybe like 4 or 5 pokey sticks. And on those sticks she would grill something that in that city was a treat to eat, but something that you probably would think is not on the menu in New Jersey. It is called cuy in the mountains of Ecuador on holidays or special occasions. It's a yummy treat. And in English, the word for cuy is guinea pig. And some of you be like, what? Guinea pig? I have a cousin that has a pet guinea pig, and you're telling me, Senator Howard, that you ate that when you were in Ecuador? And the answer is yes. I ate it. I mean, my mom never cooked those kinds of things. My mom would cook mashed potatoes. My mom would give us hot dogs. My mom would make us pancakes for breakfast. But sometimes the people in the neighborhood would invite us to their house, and we would eat what they served us. And sometimes on special occasions, it would be guinea pig. And I remember being 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old in that place, and kind of smiling like, I'm happy to be at your house, but like, I don't know about trying this guinea pig. That sounds really different. It sounds like something that I'm not really used to. And you know what else? In that town, they had a lot of soup because it's cold. So before every dinner, they would always have some kind of soup, and one of the soups was cow's intestines in cow's blood, and they would eat it, and I've eaten it. And so it was kind of interesting experience being a young kid, being in a place that I wasn't used to, speaking a language that I wasn't used to, and trying foods that I wasn't used to. I'm happy for those experiences growing up because it forced me to get out of what was normal for me and try something new. And the first few times it was kind of like hard, but doing it over and over again as I grew up, I lived in Latin America till I was 12 years old. It gave me chances to kind of develop a pattern of seeing something that's different and not running away from it, seeing something that's different and not letting kind of that wall be in between me and the different thing, but to kind of just cross that wall and to say, I'm gonna try something that is new and different. And it takes a little courage. It's not always easy, but you can explore some things that maybe for you are really different, but for someone else it's their whole world, it's their norm, it's some things that they really enjoy, and you can get out and kind of try those new things. So question for you, is it hard or easy for you to try things that you're not used to? Maybe with foods, maybe with experiences, maybe with a new sport, new instrument. Can you take a couple minutes and just reflect in writing is it easy or hard for you to try new things? And what are some things that have been new for you or different and you've still tried them anyway? Thanks for reflecting on that, and I think I'll close with this. One reason why I spend most of the time in this room speaking to you in Spanish is so that you can have some of that experience too. When you walk through this door, you're trying something new, because when you walk through this door, I have chosen to teach Spanish to you by speaking only Spanish. And when you walk into this place, it's like you hear words that you've never heard before. You're listening to instructions that maybe you kind of know what's going on, but it's in a language that you've never heard before. And you're building proficiency, but you're doing it also at the same time as having an experience of stepping out of what's normal for you. Out there in those hallways, it's only English. Maybe in your home or in your online life, you only have it in English. And so thank you for all of these months walking through this door and trying something new. Walking through this door and maybe kind of just feeling that wall, feeling that impact, like I'm not used to this. I don't even know if I really like it. But you keep taking steps and you keep trying and you're developing that sense of even with something different, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. Even with something different, I'm gonna explore what life is like from the perspective of someone that's different than me. And thanks for all that you do in making that a reality in this classroom. Adios.